I am as surprised as you are. Not because Zach Ertz is leaving the Eagles. That was definitely a given. But because the Eagles have been getting phone calls. And from Mike Silver at NFL, he has said that the Eagles are getting calls about Zach Ertz. He could be traded in the coming days. For a player that I didn't think we were going to get any compensation for. I thought the Eagles were going to flat out release Zach Ertz because, honestly, guys, we didn't have the leverage. All teams had to do was pretty much wait until the Eagles released him. And then, obviously, teams would compete with offers. Zach Ertz's time in Philadelphia is definitely, it was due. It was definitely over, definitely due. Dallas Goedert, his time to shine. We all know this. And if any teams think Zach Ertz is the top 5 tight end still, which I think he's still reliable, and I think he'd play better on a roster that's pretty packed. Okay? Earlier in the 2020 season, by the Week 9 trade deadline, Baltimore and Green Bay were speculated to be interested in Zach Ertz. Unfortunately, we couldn't trade him because... yeah, we couldn't do it. Couldn't get it done because he was on IR. He was already hurt, so we couldn't do anything about it. I do not care what we get for him. It could be a 4th-round pick. It could be a 5th-round pick. Hey, if we get a 3rd out of this, I'll have a heart attack. But Zach Ertz is long overdue, okay? Appreciate everything he's done. I think he knew that since the Cowboys game on the field with Carson Wentz and and Jason Kelce, that hour and a half. You see the picture down below and how emotional he was. The Eagles offered him 2 contracts. He didn't take either one of them. So the Eagles tried. The Eagles would have loved to keep Zach Ertz for a fact. But the problem is, because our cap situation, the business side of it, not the emotional side, the business side stopped us from doing that. And I didn't want to keep Zach Ertz after this year. Since last year, I said this will be his last year. Move on next year. But I didn't think that teams would be calling for trade compensation. But I guess it makes sense because if the Eagles just flat out released him, then teams would have to compete with money. And yeah, that's what the issue is going to be. So better to call the Eagles, get something done as soon as possible while he's on a roster still, and try to pry him off. And that's what other teams are doing. Could it be Baltimore? Could it be the Steelers? Could it be, it could be anybody at this point. Okay? I don't care if it's a draft pick for 2022, 2023. As long as we get something for him, I think it's a win. I don't think the Eagles are going to give him up for cheap, but you never know at this point, okay? You never know. But losing Zach Ertz is not going to affect this team because if Dallas Goedert hopefully doesn't get hurt every 5 to 6 games, because that's what it seems like, there's a lot riding on this thing. And, Zach Ertz gave it his all, and I appreciate everything he's done here. Obviously I'll report what team he's traded for when the time comes, but I don't care if we get a 5th pick, a 5th round, a 4th round. The most I think we'll get out of Zach Ertz, maybe, and I might be stretching it, is the 3rd round pick. And you're saying, why is it a stretch? He's a good tight end. He is. But he's not a Travis Kelce. He's not a George Kittle, okay? I see how these other tight ends play in the league, and they're looking like wide receivers. Okay, we have one of the draft that's lurking in the background that we're waiting the draft right now, okay, in Kyle Pitts. And this guy right here, Zach Ertz, I think he's done all he could here, and he has done a very good job his whole career, okay? I think, this is just what happens, okay? And people just need to get over it. There was a time when people thought we would re-sign Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. You don't pay 2 tight ends at the same time. You don't do that, okay? Too much money into that position. We all know Nick Sirianni's going to use a double tight end set. It's not, he said it. He said it wasn't a secret. He likes using tight ends, okay? So we're getting compensation for a player that literally, I guess, is descending in some type of way, but by some of these players leaving Philly and playing somewhere else and being successful, I don't know. I think he'll play good for a team, a contender, a team that's loaded on offense. Get him on, and obviously, he still gets a lot of attention on the field, so I'm not saying he can't play anymore, but his time in Philly has ran out. It's definitely run its course, and it's at the end now. Eagles offered 2 contracts already. They tried, but Zach Ertz can't be mad because you know what? At the end of the day, the Eagles have to look out for the Eagles, and that's more important than looking out for Zach Ertz. okay, and how much he wants. Okay, at the end of the day, you're not, we weren't going to pay him $16-17 million. It wasn't going to happen. Okay, maybe 12, 11, and that was pushing it. But 16 to 17 million dollars, not happening. Okay, so other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Not going to make this too long, but Zach Ertz is going to be traded in the coming days. I'm actually really happy because I didn't think we were going to get compensation. I don't care if it's a pick for this year, next year. Don't care. Hey, if it's a pick for this year, then hey, that's more for us. More draft picks for us. Okay. We'll see what happens, guys. Appreciate you supported. I'll see you guys later. Shakes, what up, follows 5. Peace out, guys. Peace.